Hello and welcome to week 3 in sociology and technology. We're taking on technology and civilization. This topic really looking at the ways in which technology has impacted where and when modern civilization, or any civilization, that civilization changes as a result of technology. So we're looking at the development of agriculture. We're looking at the importance of geography. There's some data in there, and also the movie from it's what is it? Guns, Germs, and Steel. That movie that really talks about why did the modern societies all develop in the northern hemisphere, and there are climate and geography reasons why it happened there, that it related to the technology that was able to develop there. Clearly, because individuals that live below the equator, the southern hemisphere, are just as intelligent, just as bright, but historically they did not have the kind of climate nor geography that encouraged the kind of spreading of knowledge and information that we see in the northern hemisphere. So those kinds of effects right there. So the next topic that we talk about is actually part of the assignments here, and that is the technology adoption curve. And that is when new technology comes out, in terms of that technology spreading across the population so people start using it, depends on the personality of the individual. We got to categorize individuals in certain ways. Here's from the course book here. We have people that jump right on it, right on the left-hand side here. Those are innovators. That as soon as the new technology comes out, they're right on it. Then you have early adopters. Take this on. Maybe they worked out a few of the bugs. They're working that. And then we have the early majority, late majority, and then laggards, individuals that are resisting possibly for as long as possible before they adopt that new technology. Now, what we'll find out too, in fact, is that relates to a number of factors, not just personality, but it refers to the type of technology and the particular advantages, or let's say ubiquity of it. So, how widespread and adopted it is, and sometimes we're forced to adopt. So we may have the personality, let's say, to be a late majority in terms of adopting a new technology, but if the place we work has adopted it, well, there you go. It depends. The place of work is going to define that particular adventure into technological advancement. And sometimes that's defined by external resources, like where you source materials, how do you make orders, how do you participate in the larger economics in order to get the supplies that you need to do the work that you want. And so there's a domino effect. If your supplier has switched to a particular way in which they want their orders to come in, you're an early adopter, no matter what, because you have to do it in order to participate in that economy. Different technologies over history have had different periods of time before they were kind of universally adopted. You see, way back there on the left-hand side, this is from the course book, we have the telephone taking 100 and something years. And now it's on the down, as far as a landline telephone is concerned, it took a long time. Whereas the internet, that pretty much took about 7 to 10 years before the majority of the population, and it continues to just expand. How fast did we move from flip phones to phones with apps? Very fast. How fast are we adopting AI to go from never had it to using it almost every day? We're talking months in terms of that adoption curve. So the type of technology and the societal interactions with different parts of society and societal expectations for technology impact that adoption curve. So cool stuff. Technology also plays into, and I introduce in this chapter, social status and roles. The status being any job title that you have, and the role being the job description that goes along with that. So if you're a cool dad, if you're a dad and you want to be a cool dad, you better be able to use the technology that your kid is using. It's going to help you be a cool dad, right? Understand their technology, understand their ways of thinking and whatnot. Those kinds of impacts of technology changing. If you want that promotion at the job and there's new technology coming in, now you're an early adopter and you're distinguishing yourself from your peers so you can get that promotion. So it affects that change in status that you want because you are ambitious. So you learn about that technology and you move into a position where you have those skills. So we see how that changes our motivation in terms of our status and role in our society. Now, in the discussion, I'm simply asking for you to reflect upon where are you in terms of that adoption curve. So that graphic that I had up here, where are you? And I want you to be open to the notion that there are some of these, you may be, depending on the technology, you may be in a different place than you are with some other technology. So maybe you still have a flip phone, but in terms of your video games, you have the latest, greatest system all the time. But it just doesn't translate into your phone life. Or maybe you're still using that old-fangled, pull crank lawnmower. You just won't go to a new one, and you're certainly not going to get one that runs on a battery. But you have a very cool watch that measures every step that you take, or something like that. So you have these different ways in which you might be in different places on the technology curve. So that's the discussion, sharing about that. And then for the final, for the quiz, what I'm asking, I'm going to go right to the beginning of the course book here. I'm having you look at this graphic. This graphic exists within the attention section for chapter 3. And what it is, I pulled this off the web, and what it's looking at are some of the emerging quickly. Remember what I said about a technology adoption here? Some of these are emerging very quickly. And I want you to consider your personal or work self, family self, or whatever, and how any one of these may be affecting you. Now, I guess the basic approach to doing this assignment would be to pick one of these and do a deep dive, rather than just trying to summarize each one. That's just not. Pick one here and say, you know what, let's say intelligent business processes and vendor platforms. That is, the ordering system is all online. We're using scan codes. We're doing, all of this stuff. Do a deep dive in that as to how that is affecting your daily life at work or at home or whatever. Go a deep dive rather than trying to cover more than one. So you are free for this assignment, despite the instructions. I say, a few. You are free to pick one of these, but I want you to do a deep dive on it. I want you to look stuff up about these technologies in a generic way, and then provide the example of your personal experience with these trends that are going on. Maybe what the good, bad, and the ugly. What are some of the dangers associated with this? So pick one. This is really an opportunity for you to shine on the things that you're interested in. Pick one that you want to talk about and do a deep dive on how that particular emerging technology is changing your life right now, which is really kind of the personal experience of the societal changes and civilization changes that we see in the history of technology. So given that, we have the discussion, and we have it's a quiz, actually. Sorry, not an assignment. It's a quiz to give me that succinct, but deep analysis of one of these changes coming up. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you in the discussion boards, and have a great week. Take care.